If you're over 60, looking rich can quietly make you poorer. Not because you should stop enjoying your money, because visible wealth creates costs most retirees never see coming, and one of them can even raise your Medicare bill. Looking poor does not mean living poor. It means something far more powerful. You stop wearing your wealth on the outside. The car still runs, the house is comfortable, the clothes are good, but nothing is screaming, "Look how much money I have." And that changes something. After 60, the expensive watch, the newer SUV, and the perfect kitchen stop being proof of success. They become claims on your future money. That is the shift. Your wealth no longer needs to impress the room. It needs to protect your next 10, 20, maybe 30 years. So the real goal is not to look richer. It is to be financially stronger than you look, and that difference can become enormous. Meet Richard and Steve. Both are 64. Both retire with roughly $900,000 invested and additional retirement income. On paper, they look almost identical, but they disagree about one thing. Richard wants retirement to look successful. Steve does not care what people assume. That difference seems harmless. It is not, because within a few years, one of them will need noticeably more money just to maintain the life he created. And it begins with one very ordinary purchase: a new car. Richard drives a perfectly good SUV into a dealership. 2 hours later, he leaves in a new one. Leather seats, bigger screen, that new car smell. For about 20 minutes, he feels richer. Then the first payment arrives. Around $770 a month is now normal for a new car loan in America. And that is where the illusion begins. Richard sees a better car. Steve sees 10 years of money leaving the driveway. Steve keeps his old SUV and roughly $500 more each month. At a hypothetical 5% return, that difference could grow to about $78,000 over 10 years. $78,000. For driving the car nobody notices. That could pay for a roof, years of property taxes, a major medical bill, or simply give him the luxury of not panicking when the market drops. Richard upgraded what people can see. Steve strengthened what nobody can see. And after 60, that invisible difference becomes much more important. Because eventually, the car is not the problem. The problem is what happens when Richard starts pulling retirement money to keep the rest of the lifestyle going. Richard wants a $50,000 kitchen. The money is sitting in his traditional IRA. So he thinks, I have the cash, I can afford it. Except retirement money does not always work that way. Pulling that money out can create taxable income. His tax bill can rise. More of his Social Security may become taxable. And if his income climbs high enough, Medicare can charge him more too. Not just once, every month. That is the part that hurts. Richard thought he was paying for countertops. Instead, he may have created a tax problem, a Medicare problem, and a more expensive year. And some of those effects can show up long after the renovation is finished. Steve asks a different question, not, do I have $50,000? But if I spend $50,000, what will it really cost me after taxes and Medicare? Because after 60, the number on the price tag may be the cheapest part of the decision. And once enough expensive choices pile up, something even worse happens. Retirement starts requiring a paycheck again. At first, Richard's upgrades feel separate: the car, the club, the trips, the larger home. Then they become normal, and normal needs funding every month. Richard retired from his job, but his lifestyle quietly created another one. Now his portfolio has to produce the paycheck. That becomes dangerous when markets fall. Steve can cut back and wait. Richard may have to sell investments during a bad market just to keep paying for a lifestyle he once thought was optional. That is the real trap. What started as a few upgrades slowly became a fixed obligation. And here is the aha moment. Retirement wealth is not just how much you own. It is how little of that wealth your lifestyle forces you to use. But spending is only one danger of looking wealthy. The next one comes from people watching you. There is another cost to looking wealthy. Attention. In 2024, Americans aged 60 and older reported about $2.4 billion in fraud losses. Some victims lost more than $100,000. Now picture Richard: new car, expensive trips, stories about investments, a house everyone knows has appreciated. He may never say, I have money. He does not need to. His lifestyle says enough. Scammers do not need to know his exact balance. They only need enough information to believe there may be money worth chasing. Steve gives them much less. Ordinary car, no portfolio talk, no financial victories advertised to strangers. That does not make him invincible, but it makes him harder to read, and that matters. Because after 60, privacy stops being just a personal preference. It becomes part of wealth protection. The safest fortune is often the one nobody can estimate. But strangers are not the only people who start making assumptions when they think you have money. Sometimes those assumptions come from your own family. People can start spending your money in their heads. First, Richard can get dinner. Then, he can afford the vacation house. Eventually, you have plenty saved. Could you help with the down payment? Or, I only need $40,000 to start this business. That is how visible wealth creates expectations. Richard feels uncomfortable saying no because everyone already believes he can afford to say yes. Steve avoids publishing that information. He can still be generous, but generosity remains his decision. That is the difference. Visible wealth can create obligations you never agreed to. And after 60, protecting that money matters for another reason, because the person who may need it most later is you. And this is where looking poor stops being about image. It becomes about survival margin. Fidelity estimates that a 65-year-old retiring in 2026 may need around $185,500 for healthcare over retirement. For one person. Now imagine Steve at 72. Yesterday, everything was normal. Today, there is a diagnosis, new appointments, new prescriptions, more tests, maybe changes to the house, maybe help he never expected to need. Nobody puts those costs on the retirement vision board, but they arrive anyway, and this is where age changes everything. At 35, a $20,000 mistake can hurt, but you may still have 30 years of income ahead of you. At 70, there may be no next raise, no bonus, no easy way to rebuild what is gone. Your portfolio is no longer just an investment account, it is your shock absorber. That makes Steve's boring car look very different. It was never just an old car. It was money he did not spend before he knew what life would demand from him. That is the real power of looking poor after 60. You are not keeping money because you are afraid to live. You are keeping some of it available for the day. Life becomes expensive without asking permission. But there is one danger here too. Protect your money too aggressively, and you can ruin retirement from the opposite direction. Looking poor is not the same as living poorly. Spend money on things that genuinely improve life. Travel, health, comfort, time with people you love. At 70, your spine deserves the good mattress more than your neighbor deserves to be impressed by your car. That is the distinction. A $10,000 trip might create memories for years. Spending $10,000 simply to upgrade from a perfectly good car to a more impressive one mostly buys visibility. The goal is not to stop spending, it is to stop performing wealth. And doing that gives Steve one final advantage Richard may not recognize until it is too late. Steve's final advantage is not more money, it is more control. He can choose when to spend, when to wait, when to help family, and when to leave his investments alone. That flexibility becomes more valuable with age because some financial decisions eventually stop being optional. Required minimum distributions, for example, generally begin at age 73 for many traditional retirement accounts. Steve reaches those years without a lifestyle already demanding every available dollar. He still has room to adjust, and that reveals the final contradiction. For most of your life, looking rich was supposed to prove you had options. After 60, needing to look rich can quietly take those options away. So here is the final irony. Looking poor after 60 is not about having less. It is about needing less proof. No financial costume, no performance, no pressure to make retirement look expensive. If someone sees your old car or ordinary house and assumes you are not wealthy, good, let them. Because the people working hardest to look rich are often still paying for the privilege. The ones who actually have money? Sometimes you would never know.